I believe, is 21 now, and she's been here for 14 years, and she's done a lot of different things in the program. As you can see, she's telling me, I don't want to be pet right now, and I don't want to be pet there right now. But she is very good at telling you how she feels and what she likes and what she doesn't like. So people have asked questions about grooming and tacking, and just the typical grooming stuff that you know from doing horses is if you're worried about a horse injuring you, you want to stay close to their body because the impact of the kick will be less if there was a kick than if you were close to or if you were farther away from their body. Now Nora does have a history of doing some kicking, but that doesn't mean she's going to kick every time at every person. Sometimes it's due to pain-related issues. She also has a history of ulcers. So I usually notice when I'm grooming and working around her belly, if she's pinning her ears, that means she hurts. And she hurts more when there's big swings in the temperature, like really cool to really warm and back to really cool again. She's also a lot like Emma in the respect that she likes those soft brushes and she likes that soft touch. Like we don't like to use hard brushes on Emma. Same thing goes for Nora. Don't be pressing really hard with hard brushes, and don't be grooming her with a really firm hand. Groom her with a softer hand. So the other thing I will mention is she expects us to respect her space when we walk around. If I go too close to her, she's going to stick her nose on me rather than if I stay farther away. When you're leading her or walking with her or just have her standing in the indoor, she's pretty respectful of people's space in that situation. So I think she's telling us if I have to respect your space, you have to respect mine.
That's good advice for all the school horses, I would say. All of them appreciate when you don't bump their head while you're walking around them in the cross ties and just let them know that you're being respectful of their space. Maybe we should talk quick about that, Sandra, and what Nora likes, but also all the school horses. Can you talk about handling the horses' heads and faces?
Well, I don't do a lot with their heads and their faces. I mean, if we want to pet the horse, we pet them on the neck. We don't do a lot with their faces. I mean, if they need to be groomed on the head, that's one thing, but you want to use like a really soft rubber curry or a mitt or a really soft brush. Horses, you see, she just said, I don't want to be touched there. Yeah. No, she isn't doing anything aggressive. She's just letting me know. So she's very good at telling you what she likes and doesn't like.
Yeah.
And it isn't an aggressive thing that she just did. It was just a, stop touching me there.
Yeah.
Just like some people aren't touchy-feely, some horses are the same way. They do their job really well, but they may not want to be cuddled. And we have to respect that and listen to their body language. Each horse will let you know what they like and don't like by their ears, the way they move their body towards you, away from you. So be very aware of what the horse is trying to communicate in their way.
And the thing that I do like about her is she does tell you.
Yes.
I mean, she's very good about telling you how she feels. Right now, she feels fine. She just didn't want me touching her on the head. She wasn't happy when I was touching her on the neck and I was close to her head because that's not where I'm supposed to pet her. I'm supposed to pet her here, and she knows that. She's been doing this a long time, so she knows.
I always tell volunteers to avoid the head for a couple of reasons. One, because some horses learn to scratch on you if you're scratching them, and we had a horse ages ago who had a big old head and would swing it into people because he was trying to scratch on them and knock them over in some cases. So we don't want that habit, but also our horses have a really stressful job in the respect that they deal with a lot of different people every week. They have different riders, different people handling them. And one of the ways that they sometimes show us that they have a stressful job is by biting or nipping or trying to, see if you have treats in your pocket. And we certainly don't want to encourage that behavior. So the more we can stay away from their heads, the better, so that we give them, again, that respect that they deserve and help make their job less stressful by less people touching their face.
And you can groom her legs. She knows I'm here. She's fine with me grooming her legs. I'm doing it with a soft brush. I'm close to her body. I'm not far away from her body. I'm close. And she can handle having her legs groomed. Some people are worried about that. You can walk around her, just like I said before, about keeping close to her body.
The biggest thing I think with Nora too, and we'll stress it again, is respect what she's telling you. So Nora does not like she doesn't like to be brushed on her chest. So what I always tell people is if she's telling you she doesn't like it, don't do it then.
Yeah.
You know, as long as it's not going to cause a safety hazard, or you know, the girth area, the saddle area obviously has to be clean.
The bridle area.
Bridle area has to be clean. But if her chest was like it was right now, and we wanted to just brush it, and she said no, it's okay to say that's okay. You have a right to say no.
Yeah.
So.
Sandra, can you, just for demonstrative purposes, if somebody's new to horses, can you show them what it looks like when you brush her chest? And Nora tells you there you
right
go.
There.
she's very
She
predictive.
told me right
She
away,
tells you,
don't brush me there.
Pinning ears, looking at you, swinging her head is all a sign that you're in a spot that she doesn't like to be touched, which, again, we really appreciate that she's so clear with her.
Yeah. And the minute I
communicating to us.
stop, she doesn't keep coming after me.
No.
No.
I also, if you are the one grooming her, Nora doesn't like to be groomed by many people. So I try to just have one person being her person to groom her. But then if you're that person, I ask that it's your responsibility to make sure that other people aren't standing in a very dangerous place, because they may be standing here talking, and I now put myself in a position that if Sandra would hit a spot that Nora said no, I'm going to be the one that gets.
Well, there's several horses in our program
Yes.
who don't want to stand next to their heads, especially when they're being groomed
Yeah.
and tapped.
So it really does go for everybody. If you're the one grooming them, be aware of all your surroundings to make sure no one else gets put in a position.
Yeah. And Sandra, do you want to just show quick putting the saddle on her, and we'll
Yep.
watch her body language during that process? I think the biggest thing for saddling is just going slow, not bumping into her, respecting her space, but then also making sure we're not jerking the girth when we tighten it. But again, that goes for every horse, because they're all going to react if you tighten the girth too fast or too hard.
And with all horses, I set the saddle down gently.
Yep.
It isn't just her, but it's with every horse.
She's a nice size to be able to do that.
Yeah, you can reach. And the side with her name on it goes on the left side. The girth has her name on it, and that always goes on the left, and that's for all of our lesson horses. Their names go on the left of the saddle, or the near side. And the other side away from me is the off side. Now this girth can be kind of tight and hard to get on initially, but if you just take it easy, you can get it. And the reason for that is a lot of people who ride Nora are sometimes people that lack a lot of mobility in their lower extremities. So if you have to tighten a girth way underneath this flap, it's really hard for the person on the horse's back to be able to move their leg out of the way. So this girth can seem a little snug at times, but it's an important reason why it's a little bit longer and we girth it a little bit farther down.
Sure.
So those people with less mobility can still have their girth adjusted once they're on the horse.
So she's really good for tacking and bridling. She's a saint. It's mainly just the grooming. You want to pay attention to her body language and what she's telling you.
She'll practically put the bit in her mouth.
Yeah.
People think she's biting, but she's not. She's like, I know where the bit goes, and I can put it on.
We'll show this quick, and then we'll do a separate video for leading.
Yes. Now I know we're supposed to reach around, but I have trouble reaching around because see, she's
The horse
just
is
opening her-
relaxed and their head is down. That's a
She's putting her head right
perfectly
down.
respectful way to do it. Alright, so we'll do a second video that shows some leading strategies for Nora.